I'm Riley Murdoch, and when I'm not gaming, I'm newsing. It's kind of my thing. A game supposedly made by Valve called Deadlock has a massive amount of concurrent players, despite the fact that Valve has not officially acknowledged its existence. As of writing, the competitive MOBA shooter thing has an all-time peak of over 22,000 players. And that number appears to only be getting bigger. Heck, even Sean Hollister of The Verge has played it. He says he received a no strings attached invite, probably because the game allows anyone who's playing it to invite literally anyone they want. And Hollister wrote about the game in an article that also featured gameplay he captured. Hollister felt cool to do this because of a subtle legal loophole. You see, when a pop-up asked him not to share anything about the game with anyone, he didn't press OK. Game publishers hate this one trick. Still, there were some criticisms levied against Hollister for covering an unfinished and secret, big quotes on that one, game. I mean, sure, gaming journalists have been criticized for being too soft on publishers when critiquing games for years, but God forbid one of them dares to discuss one of the top 100 played games on Steam.
How dare they?
Which is it? What do you want? For his hubris, Sean Hollister has been permanently banned from Deadlock matchmaking, and now he can never play again, unless he creates another account and gets an invite from any one of literally thousands of current Deadlock players. But don't talk about it!
But how can he possibly?
As an addendum, we've seen people saying that this is disrespectful to the devs because, you know, they want their complete vision to come out. But then why have a beta with thousands of people in it? It's just confusing. Irrefutable proof has been found for an upcoming PC port of Red Dead Redemption. The first one, something gamers already waited over 5,200 days for, according to the expert counters at Ars Technica. Why did they say it in days? What is that in years?
14, but that's a smaller number.
The future existence of a PC version was leaked in possibly the strangest place, the PlayStation Store. Early this morning, the description of the recent PS4 port of the game was updated with text claiming that Red Dead is now on PC for the first time ever. That text has now been removed from the store, but it can still be seen on archived copies of the PlayStation Store website. Now you might think Sony has ported so many first-party titles to PC that they've forgotten what platform they are, but it's highly likely this comes from Rockstar, based on text found in the Rockstar Games launcher back in May that is very similar to what ended up on the PlayStation Store. So it looks like Red Dead Redemption is finally coming to PC, a mere 5 years after its sequel did. That something.
Lenny!
What did you say?
Lenny?
I haven't played. The studio behind Hi-Fi Rush, Tango Gameworks, is back from the dead. While Microsoft announced the studio shutdown back in May, Krafton Incorporated, the publisher of PUBG, revealed in a press release yesterday that they had acquired Tango Gameworks and the Hi-Fi Rush IP. This is big news for lots of people. Not me though. I never played Hi-Fi Rush because I was too busy performing my side gig flailing outside of used car dealerships.
Yeah.
There's cars here! Check out the cars! Woo! This was certainly good news for John Johannes, who directed several games at Tango, including Hi-Fi Rush. After sadly tweeting, "So this is how it ends," months ago when the shutdown was announced, Johannes got to put out a follow-up tweet to celebrate the good news. Krafton has announced they have rehired 50 staff who are now working on Hi-Fi Rush 2 as we speak, or at least as I speak and you listen. But you could, I'm not stopping you. Unfortunately, for fans of The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo, those IPs are staying with Xbox. Lock 'em tight. I'd be more disappointed had I played those games, but unfortunately I was too busy trimming my mustache one hair at a time. What is this, have a go at Riley Day? What's going on here? I feel like the results speak for themselves, so I mean, okay. But videos can't speak for themselves, so I should let you know that Scrapyard Wars Episode 3 is now live and sponsored by Jawa. Personally, I find that weird since Jawa's debuted in episode 4. Oh, my mistake. Right now we're talking about Jawa, the marketplace for buying and selling gaming gear, not those little hooded guys who trafficked in sentient droids. This Jawa has PC components, peripherals, and even fully pre-built PCs. Check out the Scrapyard Wars giveaway where there will be exclusive prizes that were used in the videos. And if you want to watch the next episode, episode 4, early and get access to exclusive behind the scenes content, subscribe to Floatplane. Both links are in the description. I love the smell of Quick Bits in the morning or afternoon, evening. Time doesn't exist here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is now the second best-selling game on Steam thanks to the impending release of a mod called H2M. It's a full overhaul of the multiplayer from 2009's Modern Warfare 2, remade in the engine for the 2016 remaster of the original Modern Warfare. Got it?
Not to be confused with the newer Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2.
Why are there so many versions of these games? In addition to all the remade content, there are also new maps made from single-player environments. But can the mod effectively replicate the horrible names you were called in COD lobbies 14 years ago? We'll find out on the 16th when it releases.
They've stayed with you for life.
EA Motive, who's helping DICE develop the next entry in the Battlefield series, posted a job listing for a senior environment artist, which notes that open world experience is a plus, fueling speculation that the next game from the We're Not COD franchise could feature an open world design. But are we talking like a Breath of the Wild style FPS like Halo Infinite, or an always-on conquest match like PlanetSide 2? EA CEO Andrew Wilson did recently say, this Battlefield is one of the most ambitious projects in our history, although that could also mean they included half the loot boxes they wanted to, and it was so hard.
Or they like completed it.
PC game marketplace GOG has announced that Fallout 4 Total Conversion mod, Fallout London, has become the platform's fastest redeemed game of all time after being downloaded over 500,000 times in its first 24 hours. Team Folon, the group of volunteers that made the mod, plan to release stability updates, as well as additional content likely later this year. Inspired by the donations they've received, Team Folon hopes to launch their own indie studio and make original games. Maybe one day, they'll release a disappointing title that someone else will improve with mods. And the cycle continues. 2 new games based on the film Halloween are being worked on by Boss Team Games, the studio behind Evil Dead, the game. These are all games, this is a game show. One of those Halloween titles is being developed in Unreal Engine 5 with the involvement of series creator John Carpenter. That makes sense. What makes less sense is the second game, a retro-style platformer starring killer Michael Myers. He doesn't seem like a jumper to me.
More of a stabber.
That game is also part of a series that will allow different horror characters to cross over into other horror universes, having sleepovers at each other's houses. At which point I assume they team up Avengers style to unalive every teenager in the multiverse. We have to say unalive.
I didn't want to say.
I think we can say kill.
All right, go for it.
We're f***ing badasses. And Limited Run Games has announced the triumphant return of Glover, the Nintendo 64 game where you play as an anthropomorphic glove that gains special powers by interacting with a ball. There were some wacky concepts back then. Glover, seen here celebrating in front of a castle suffering from a Michael Bay explosion, wasn't fully appreciated back in 1998, but soon fans will be able to look at the game with fresh eyes by playing it on modern consoles. Now, I might be a simple country newsman, but I think you're gonna glove it. You'll have a ball. You get it. Just like you'll get why you should come back on Thursday for more gaming news. The reason is you'll get more gaming news. It's right, I already said it. It's obvious.